Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, Studio Day Broaddus. Welcome to Trust the Tape. Nope, welcome to
You can't do that.
Is that
You can't do the trust the tape thing.
is it like copyrighted by my former company?
I think it probably is. We're probably like going to get in trouble because of you being an idiot.
Jeff Cavanaugh here with my friend Bryan Broaddus on a Thursday, a Broaddus Thursday.
Broaddus Thursday.
He's, of course, Bryan Broaddus of 105.3 The Fan, 2 to 7, G-Bag Nation right there on the home of the Cowboys. He's wearing his draft show shirt, which we love. Oh, that's a good shirt. Oh,
hey, man, free gear. Anytime you could get free gear, count me in. I mean, if it's free, I'll take 3. If I have to pay, no way.
Yeah.
That's the scouting motto is what that one is. So, yeah. But,
all right, we got all our Cowboys stuff to get into today. This is, of course, brought to you by my friends at BetOnline, your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. Baseball, golf, soccer, UFC, MMA, boxing, whatever. Every stat, every matchup, live odds and spreads while games are being played. Game's over. Head over to the online casino. Get in on a game of blackjack or poker. They got over 150 slot games. Head to the website today. Get in on that action. Use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, Bryan, here's the thing.
Wait a minute. I got to say something real quick. I got to ask you a question.
What?
When you go and gamble, right?
Yeah.
And thanks to the folks for sponsoring us today.
Yeah.
When you go gamble, do you play cards or are you a blackjack? Or are you a slot machine player?
It depends on my goal, Bryan. If my goal is to own the casino, I play poker.
Poker.
Because that's me against you, you know?
Gotcha.
If my goal is just to have a time, then I'll either play blackjack or craps. But if I'm trying to get rich, I'm a poker man.
Craps is a fun game. I will tell you this. One time I was in Vegas. I was sitting on the third base side of the table, right? I was sitting on third base, down the third base line.
Yeah.
I took some questionable hits.
Yeah.
I took some questionable hits of cards.
Yeah.
Guy looked at me and goes, "Do you know what you're doing?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Not really, sir." He says, "You need to move your big ass out of here then is what you need to do."
Yeah.
Like everybody at that table, I took questionable hits, which messed up everybody else's game.
Yeah.
And people, when you're gambling with people that you don't know, they will get violent towards you.
That's why we take the whole table and we warn people what we're going to do because we play a game of blackjack. When we're playing blackjack, we play a game called Split 'em Up. So if I get two face cards and the dealer has a 6, I should stay because I'm going to win. But then my friend Skin Wade and I just start to sing, split 'em up, split 'em up. And so we split them. And when it works, it's a lot of fun and we cheer. And when it doesn't work, we go, well, it was dumb anyway.
It was dumb.
Yes.
Are you good at craps?
I bet the no pass line, so I'm not fun to play with. I bet against everyone. So
really?
Yeah.
So you're cheering against everybody at the table. As everybody else is like, I'll tell you one time I had a buddy, I learned a very valuable lesson about craps. Don't order a drink with the dice in your hand.
Okay.
Because my buddy, he had dice in hand, turned away from the table to acknowledge the waitress. And immediately everybody on the table or the people involved, the pit bosses and stuff like that, immediately, sir, you take the dice away from the table. That is a big no-no in craps.
Okay, so it sounds like you've had bad experiences and you're not good at gambling.
I was in Vegas for the Super Bowl, of course. I love watching people gamble. I'm a sports book guy. And I will never forget the time Jerry took us all to Vegas. And I took DallasCowboys.com. We all got to go to Vegas. Me and Rob Phillips were going to go into the sports book. Derek Eagleton was standing right behind us. He goes, "Boys, you're not going in there." Rob and I had planned out okay, we got day baseball. We got horse racing from Bay Meadows. We literally were going to sit there for 3 days and bet on sports.
No, sir. You're part of a professional sports organization. Can't be in there.
I signed a form to say that I wouldn't do that. And I just remember that when Derek said, "You guys go in there, you're fired." And I thought about it. I thought about going down to another casino and doing this, but I didn't. I didn't do it.
We've been to the racetrack together, and we do okay. We do all right.
I remember you parked the car one time, and I handed you $60 after the first race.
I got us the VIP bracelets, and so you thought, you know what, that was nice of you, and then you made a bet for me on the race while I parked the car and won, and then I was just handed cash. I liked that. That was a good transaction.
It's funny, you, KT, and I, we'll get to Cowboy Talk here in a second, folks.
And I can always put in the description of the video, if you want Cowboy Talk, fast forward to 7 minutes.
Okay, but anyway, Jeff, Kevin Turner, and I went out to the track, and we went to go see the great Pat Green, Texas legend Pat Green.
Oh, you had to say this out loud.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, I always leave the artist unnamed.
Oh, do you?
No, but it's too late. Go on, forge ahead.
Why'd I do that? I mean, Pat Green's a legend. Okay.
He is, and he's sober now, so we can tell this story.
Well, he's a legend. I'm not telling a bad story about Pat Green. I'm talking about we went to go see Pat Green.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about how we left after 3 songs because he couldn't sing because he was too drunk.
I wasn't going to say that. I was saying we were going to see Pat Green, and I know that you guys knew all of Pat Green's words.
Yeah, he didn't, but we did.
And KT looked at me and goes, "That's not Southbound 35."
That's what the band was playing.
But the band was playing. Pat was singing another song.
Anyway, he's sober now, though, and his place, the Rustic, is great.
Yeah, we go to the, I think it's closing, by the way. I think I saw a tweet that said the Rustic was closing down.
Oh, well, I still
like
it.
I mean, hey, don't listen to me. I don't know anything, but
God, we're just tearing Pat Green down today.
No. Pat Green is a great human being, a great Texan. So anyway, we're at the track. We're betting on races. We're having success. Like we're enjoying ourselves. We're having some nice success. And then we start betting on races in Australia. Remember?
Well, yeah, because there was no more live races, so we went down into the book or whatever where they just got stuff on TV, and we're betting on Australian chariot races from the 80s.
No, remember that? It was like the track is opposite direction, and I'm like, and they're off. And I'm like, oh, wait, they're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. And then KT goes, hey, man, Broaddus, you know anything about these harness racing? And it's like the Meadowlands. It's New Jersey. And it's like, it looked like it was about 7 degrees. These guys are all bundled up on these harness racing things. And KT's betting on it. And we have no idea.
Because he's a fiend. Because you got a guy. Brian has a horse guy that gives us tips.
Yeah.
KT's like, you got tips on this? And Brian's like, they're running backwards. I think that's a dog. Like, no, my guy doesn't know anything about this.
I got a guy in Lexington. It's a huge Cowboy fan. You know, you get this information, and you know he touts all my stuff, and he helped. So we were winning money, and the next thing you know, we weren't winning money because we were just betting on stupid things like the horses on. If you've never seen harness racing, the horses trot. They don't run. They just trot. It's like that fast walk thing that they do in the Olympics that drives everybody nuts.
Yeah, because that's the one where they're pulling the chariot, right?
They're pulling the guy in the back, and KT's like, run. They're not running. What kind of they're walking. What kind of racing? We bet on walking is what we did.
I'd like to apologize to literally everyone who's going to be listening or watching this. It's going to be like, what is happening? But some of you
I
love
miss
us,
you guys.
and you're having a great time.
I miss you guys so much when we do stuff like there would be times we did things. KT, they're not running. What are we betting on? We're betting on horses. They're walking. What are they doing? And the race took forever. And we didn't even know how to yell. Even in horse racing, you like, come on, 7, come on, 7, come on, 7. You know, you're doing that, and these horses are walking. You're like, come on, 7. Come on, 7.
You can do it.
a little fast. Oh, here comes 6. Come on, 7.
This is stupid.
Okay. Cowboys.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start the show. We're 10 minutes into the show.
Welcome to Dallas Cowboys football talk with Jeff and Brian on a Thursday. Definitely not trust the tape. Just a Thursday conversation.
Just a fireside chat.
Jeff and Brian.
Yeah.
I've gotten a real great kick out of the last week. The one thing that made me pop on and actually do a video was when the story came out from, was it Tyler Dunne?
Ty
the guy
Dunne.
that, used to be a Packers beat writer, and now he does some sort of NFL journalism stuff.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills. He's covered a couple teams. Yeah.
That Mike McCarthy is fed up with Jerry Jones, and that I found great. I think that's great content, and so I decided I had to make a video the other day.
How'd it go for you on that? Did you get it? Did you get everything covered on that one?
Yeah, we covered the whole thing. Yeah, we got good numbers.
Got good numbers on that one?
Which is what matters. Yeah, we're just trying to get all the money because it's Cowboy dead period. Here in a few weeks, we'll have all the content in the world, but right now it's like, what's going on? Nothing.
You and
all
I
right, ain't doing nothing.
How about that? Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be at camp here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think Mike McCarthy's fed up with Jerry Jones?
Yes.
Do you think he hates Jerry?
Yeah, I think he does. He hates Jerry as much as we hate chariot racing.
You think he knew that was going to happen when he took the job? Because he should have.
No, God, no, Jeff.
How do people not know what you're getting into?
He needed a job. He was in, and I'll tell you this, though. He didn't need the money because his wife, through a divorce, she was married to a very successful guy in Green Bay. Oh. And so Mike remarried, she remarried, so they're fine. I mean, Mike needed the job just to prove to people that he could coach again. And, really, if you look at it, the only team that was really calling, he got an interview with the job. God, who he interviewed with? The Giants? I think he interviewed with the Giants. And then the Cowboys brought him in, and he, had dinner with Jerry and Steven and a bunch of Johnny Walker Blue. And they kind of figured some things out, and Mike got the job. I think with Mike McCarthy, and I apologize, I know there's a lot of people that listen to your platform and listen to other platforms. I know I've been on a couple of them talking about this. But hopefully you haven't. This is the first time you've heard me say this. I think that Mike, when he came into this job, he was kind of eyes wide open. Like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see how this really goes. Because my experience of working in Green Bay as Mike's is there's not an owner. There's a president of the club, Bob Harlan. Kevin Harlan's dad was my boss. Wonderful human being.
I'm sorry, what?
Kevin Harlan's dad, Bob Harlan, was my boss in Green Bay.
Did you say horrible human being?
No.
Oh.
Did I say horrible?
Oh, that's what I thought I heard.
No.
I've been drinking.
No. He's a wonderful human being.
Okay.
I thought I said wonderful. I didn't.
You probably did. You probably did. I probably just heard something crazy.
No, I said he was a wonderful human being.
Okay.
And so loved working for Mr. Harlan, and so Mr. Harlan just stayed out of our way. We didn't have to answer to anybody there. Ron Wolf was my boss too, and we didn't have to answer to anybody. Anything we needed, Mr. Harlan, hey, we need a new facility need an indoor facility. Yeah, let's get it built. Yeah, we need this new practice field. Okay, let's get that built. Update our locker rooms. Okay, let's get that built. I mean, we never heard no from Mr. Harlan. Anyway, so Mike McCarthy worked with Ted Thompson, who Teddy and I started at the same time. Teddy was a pro scout when I was working in college scouting, and then he became a general manager for the Packers, won a Super Bowl for him and all that. Passed away, unfortunately, here a few years ago. And Teddy was the same way. Teddy just ran the player personnel department. Like, he really picked players for Mike. Mike sat there, and Mike coached the team and did what he had to do and did a damn good job of that. And then so he comes to Dallas, and when you're the head coach of the Cowboys, whether you like it or not, you do have a say. Bill Parcells had a big say. Every coach that's been there I work with, Chan Gailey had a say. Chan Gailey had such a say they didn't draft Randy Moss. That just shows you, how that works sometimes. Jerry's going to listen, but now he's got Will and others that he really, really leans on. So anyway, McCarthy not really having, just kind of doing his job, doing what he had to do. And so anyway, long story short, I guess, that he didn't, I don't think he realized that Jerry was going to have 2 radio shows and Steven was going to have 2 radio shows. And then in a post-game press conference after a big game, it was going to be a reporter from Gilmer, Calvin Watkins, and Mickey Spagnuolo, those 3 guys just asking questions while other 30 people are outside interviewing Jerry. Jerry, everybody's hovering around Jerry while I'm doing my Cowboys post-game show with Zach Wolchuk. I'm looking at 3 guys interviewing Mike after a big win. And Mike's kind of probably like, okay, questions? So I have a feeling that Mike has talked to some people outside the organization that used to be here. There's a couple. You could talk to those guys that were here that left to go to Joe Witt, and those guys that left and went to go to Commanders, to the Washington Commanders. Rob Davis was a guy that was here. Jerry kind of moved on from Rob Davis. Or if you remember when the Cowboys let a bunch of coaches go, George Edwards got let go, Skip Peete got let go, Leon Lett got let go. There was some trading of like, Jerry was like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this guy. You get rid. Okay, and Mike's like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Well, okay, well now I'm going to get rid of this guy. I mean, it was literally, I use the word prisoner for prisoner is what it was. It really
exchanges.
Was. Yeah, it was exchanging, and Rob Davis was one of those guys. And Dunne was a Green Bay reporter. He probably had sources there. Makes sense. Rob Davis got let go, and Mike probably still talks to Rob Davis. He's one of those guys he brought in. Probably like, hey, Rob, man, you know how it is here, bro. You were here, you were here, you understood, yeah, that kind of thing. And I think that's how all that got out. That maybe that Mike just told a guy like Rob Davis that, what, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, and I think there's a side of Mike McCarthy that's done a good enough job that if he gets let go, he can go get another job. I think he's proven that he's back to being a very good head coach in the regular season. Now they've had problems in the postseason, and if that ultimately gets him fired, or probably not fired, they don't renew his contract, they'll do the same thing they did to Jason Garrett. They'll, except I think Mike will pick up his stuff. He won't hang around for a week and, and take it all in.
Report to the office for 3 weeks while it runs out, even though everybody knows you're gone.
Yeah, I think Mike will pick up his gear and say thank you very much and move on and try and get some other job. So would he be upset, or was he? Yeah, he's probably telling Rob Davis that, bro, it ain't great right now, but we'll figure it out.
I enjoy it. Uh-oh.
You're there.
I enjoy that. My computer's doing weird stuff for a second there. It'll do that from time to time. I do enjoy that. Like I was reading, Calvin Watkins wrote about this whole thing today, and he mentioned different coaches and different times where like McCarthy wants to do something, and maybe Jerry wants to do something, and maybe McCarthy wanted Joe Witt Jr. to be the new defensive coordinator, and maybe Jerry Jones wanted Mike Zimmer, and now here's Mike Zimmer, and hello. And then like Mike McCarthy's hired Don Yee to be his agent to try to get an extension. And it's just funny how different people's perceptions can be of the same thing. Mm-hmm. The season ends and the whole fan base is like, they got to fire Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. And Mike McCarthy sitting there going, I win 12 games every year. I should be getting an extension. What's going on, guys? It's funny.
It is. I've said this a bunch. If Mike was in Atlanta, Carolina, Phoenix, they'd have a statue in front of the stadium of him. They would. My man wins 12 games. It's really strange now, Jeff. Mike McCarthy and I share the same agent.
Nice.
Like Don Yee. Don and I have done work together since he had Ty Detmer in Green Bay in '92. And Don's helped me with a lot of. Don will not tell anybody. Like, he had Tom Brady. I got him hooked up with Sean Payton. I had nothing to do with the Mike McCarthy one. But it's kind of funny now that here I am. I've thrown a ton of dirt on Mike McCarthy. I'm sure.
Yeah, you're a jerk. You're a hater.
I guess I am.
Yep.
But now he and I have the same agent. I was talking to Don. I go, did you sign up? Did you sign up Mike McCarthy? He goes, yeah. I goes, well, I guess I can't say anything bad about him anymore.
Yeah. Did you give him an apology? Be like, hey, could you reach out to Mike and tell him I'm real sorry about all the hate?
You know what? If Mike's a big boy, literally, he can handle it.
Is that a fat joke?
I'm fat too, so it's okay.
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog too.
Hot dog and hot dog buns go together for sure. But the thing about McCarthy, as you know, Mike, I think there's some things that he does. I think there's some things he has legitimate gripes. I think he has some legitimate gripes but this organization, man. This is why this is so unique, because look at the head coach, look at the quarterbacks, look how they just it's like to use a Jerry Jones phrase. He one time we were in Wichita Falls and it was about 9,000 degrees. He goes, "This is madness. We're practicing. This is madness." You know, I mean, that's how that's how Oxnard was born, when Jerry got to the point where he goes, "This is madness," and really, this front office, it's a madness. You know, no other organization would have their quarterback and their head coach and everybody floating like this, and you do that because you're not going to get fired. You know, you're not going anywhere. You know, if you were a general manager at the Buccaneers, the Rams, Eagles, wherever, and this was all going on, there's a pretty damn good chance you're getting fired for letting all this happen to them. Nah, we're good. You know, we'll fight through it. We'll draft well. We'll, you know, So.
Oh, it's so good for content. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing everything that you do. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Next thing, I wanted to make a
Did
proposal.
that make sense though?
Yeah.
I think Mike's. I think he's probably telling Rob Davis or somebody that I'm not.
Yeah,
this ain't great. This ain't great, but we'll fight through it. Yeah.
Next thing is I have a proposal for you for training camp, since we'll both be there, since I'm such an important person. I got my credential.
You're essential personnel, I would say.
Yeah. Since I got my credential, I have a proposal for you during practices.
Cowboys. Yeah, thank you, Cowboys.
I was thinking, thank you, Cowboys. I was thinking I will watch all of the people who are 244 pounds and under, and you watch all the guys that are 245 pounds and up. And then we could do shows and talk about what happened, so I don't have to watch the big people.
I knew there was going to be something where I was going to be on that end of the field, where I was going to be with the big boys down there. But you know what?
Yeah.
I think it's a good deal.
Yes.
Because if, you know, you'll be able to tell me about Trey Lance and what's going on that end. And what's going? No, don't sigh. Quarterbacks involved. I know you hate to evaluate quarterbacks. I guarantee you more people. There's two things people are going to want to know about.
I know.
Actually, there's three. There's three things people are going to want to know about. They're going to want to know about your end of the field with Trey Lance. They're going to want to know my end of the field with Guyton and Mozzie Smith.
And BB and the centers, I bet.
And the centers. But I think, man, I just have this bad feeling that Mike Solari is going to get Brock Hoffman in there as that starting center.
That's okay. If he's okay, that's fine. And if that means that Cooper Beebe's going to be our right guard in a year, that's fine.
I will watch.
That's fine.
I will watch with close intent everybody on my end of the field, and I know you'll watch yours on your end. But it's going to be a really good camp in a lot of ways, because they're going to need some of these guys to really step up, you know, and Overshown, Leofau. I mean, I don't know. We need to figure out. I think Leofau falls under your jurisdiction. Overshown.
The linebackers, I think we share. I think they technically belong to me, but they'll be around your people enough that you can also go eyes on.
Wait a minute now. They do a lot of work with the running backs. That's another thing that's going.
And that's when I'll have eyes on. Yeah, I'll be on Deuce Patrol.
Yeah.
Trey Lance Patrol.
Yeah.
And we got Turpin versus Brooks versus Tolbert Patrol. These are my places.
I'll tell you what, man. And folks, if you're listening to this program, again, thanks for doing that. Jeff knows him some wide receivers. Jeff will have these wide receivers cold. So I'm looking forward to that part.
Yeah, get open. If you don't get open, I don't like you. If you get open, I like you a lot.
How are we going to ride the roller coaster every day on these shows? It's going to be, man, he looked great. Oh, he looked bad. Man, he looked great. Oh, he looked bad. I mean,
this is the impossible.
Some consistency there, right?
The impossible part of camp is
you can't
trying.
See it all, man.
Is like you want to talk about whatever's happening that day, right?
Yeah.
That's what matters. People want to know. They want to know what happened today. And every year you can't stop it. There's going to be one wide receiver that you're like, boy, this guy. And I'm like, look, he's not making the team, but congrats on this.
Yeah.
Like, what was the year when the last time I was out there? Because I asked McCarthy about it in a press conference, and he told me I was a smart man. when I was just like, so this Vasher kid is catching a bunch of fades, but if he's going to make wide receiver 5, can he play special teams? And he was like, it's a good one now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we fall in love with a guy who makes some plays, and I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to be eyes on, responsibly reporting with no sensationalism and no trying to hype up a dude that's not going to make the team. This I vow to you.
See, that's the hard thing. I think some guys, the fact that you're going to be out there a good chunk of time, I think, and you pick the practices where there'll be a lot going on. Which
I'll be from pads on to Rams game.
There you go. To me, that's where you're going to get the most look. But I think you do have to be careful with that, because you do get in a little bit of a rut of that. Like, some of these people aren't there long enough, and they make these quick judgments on, okay, this is what it's going to be. And then all of a sudden, because these wide receivers will have 3 or 4 really good days, and then all of a sudden you don't see them for 3 days. And but the previous 4 days, all you've done is talk about how good Vasher and those guys have looked, And then now you're like, well, they don't look as good. Well, Broaddus, you said, well, he doesn't look as good anymore. So you do have to be a little bit mindful of, okay, they always use the old saying, the small sample size.
Yeah.
I think if you have 2 or 3 really bad practices in a row, that's probably telling me something right there.
I am looking forward to the Trey Lance stuff just because it is so all over the place depending on who you talk to and about what. Like, there's a reasonable chance that Trey Lance is about to play the last year of his contract, be the 3rd string quarterback, and then be elsewhere making no money next year. But then there's a world that exists where people think, he's going to get an extension from the Cowboys and be the next starting quarterback of the Cowboys. Yeah. And I think the more likely route is he's playing out a contract. Maybe he'll beat out Cooper Rush. He'll be the backup. And then next season, who knows where he's going to play, wherever somebody gives him some money. But it'll be interesting because there is a world where your starting quarterback also is in the last year of his deal, and you traded for him, and he's a former top 5 pick and all these things.
See, this is where I think Cooper Rush is the safety net here. I think they want Lance to be the second quarterback.
They better. They traded a 4th-round pick for somebody who's
but
not going to play.
I know, but they've also drafted 4th-round linemen that never played. They drafted a 2nd-round lineman in Jacob Rogers that never played. Yeah. So to me, this is where that's why I'm all about Trey Lance now. Every rep he can get, and let's evaluate it. And if he's not good enough, then he automatically is the 3rd, and Cooper Rush is the 2nd. And if something happens to Dak, I'm playing with Cooper Rush. That's what it's going to be. But Cooper Rush is not going to get the majority of reps. Cooper Rush has shown me that if he has to play with little reps, that he might be okay. We've seen that. But I have no idea about Trey Lance. I've seen 3 practices of Trey Lance, and I was thinking that I was going to see a little more than I've seen. So they can't hide him out there at practice. He's going to be part of the 7-on-7s, the 1-on-1s, the team periods, stuff like that. He might be the most evaluated player when this is all said and done.
Oh, dude, the number of retweets John Machota is going to get when he shares a Trey Lance deep down the left sideline to Moreno Cropper, and people are going to be like, bench Dak.
See, this is where Johnny Matches is at his absolute best. Him and Hellman. I've never seen 2 guys that are like at the right exact spot to see the play of the day. I mean, Hellman used to do it. Machota is one of the best. He always managed his beat, and also he's filming, and there's the ball over the top, and Diggs swats at it and misses it, and it's a great catch and all that. But yeah, you're going to get Todd Archer too is another one. Archer's going to be stats for Trey Lance today in 7-on-7. He was 7 of 9 for had an interception in team period. I guarantee you an NFL Network's going to come rolling through there. What are they going to talk about? Trey Lance. I guarantee you that's what it's going to be about.
Yeah, so why not? Let's have fun.
That's your group. That's your guys. I'll be at the other end trying to figure out about Mozzie Smith and Guyton and others.
Well, we're almost there, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
looking forward to creating camp content with you, Mr. Broaddus. We're going to have us a time.
Yeah, I was trying to think about don't think the Wi-Fi is good enough to do a show from the Rudder Room, which I'd absolutely love to do a show from the Rudder Room.
It's not. There's no way it is. Now,
my,
I will tell you.
My phone doesn't even work at the Rudder Room.
No.
And I'm kind of glad it doesn't, because I'm just like, but there's if the internet was good enough, I would love to sit out in that back patio area, not in the sand area, but in the back patio.
Yeah, that would be
with
awesome.
everybody just yelling at each other and just chaos, and do a show. That would be fun.
The time that Garrett came walking up from the water, I'm just like, Ben, and I'm sitting there hammered like, hi, coach. And he just looks at me and shakes his
Jeff,
head.
you missed last year where Zach Wolchuk, my teammate on 105.3 The Fan, he and Jane Slater did Oklahoma drill. And like Jane and Zach were doing it, and like Jane was tackling Zach, and I'm like, it's like Jane must have had 30 Coronas. I swear it was one of those. And the day is so beautiful. You just can't describe to people. If you come out to camp, Jeff will tweet about, I'll tweet about where we meet out there. Come out and say hello. Bring a hoodie at night. It gets cold.
Bring a hoodie.
Bring a hoodie. Bring your hoodie. Bring cash. 2 things you have to have.
Yeah,
hoodie,
Rudder Room cash only now. Bring a hoodie.
Hoodie and cash.
And make sure you have footwear, because there's pee on the floor.
There is pee on the floor, and it smells bad, but the drinks are really good.
Yep.
And so anyway, but if you come out and see us, those are the things. Come out and hang out with us. But there'll be that day where you get right before it starts, the sun goes down. It's beautiful out there. Yeah. It's just beautiful, just sitting around, just enjoying life for sure.
Month away. Coming.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's a show. Sorry about the first 10 minutes. I'm not sorry. And I'll put in the description to just fast forward if you don't want to hear us talk about random stuff. I'm not sorry. I don't apologize. I take back my apology, okay? Yeah. Because as a good friend of mine once said, there's nothing wrong with starting things off wrong.
Why not just start the day f***ing it up?
Why not start off doing that and then crank up?
Anyway, there you go.
Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Be easy. Broaddus, say something catchy.
Peace.
It's not catchy. All right.
So we got a meeting here.